This week's edition of NJBIA's Minding Your Business is brought to you in part by AT&T, helping family, friends, and neighbors connect in meaningful ways every day. From the first phone call 140 years ago to mobile video streaming today, AT&T innovates to improve lives. And by New Jersey Business Magazine, providing the critical information needs for New Jersey's business community for more than 65 years.
Welcome to NJBIA's Minding Your Business. I'm your host, Bob Considine. Well, for more than 50 years, Style Salon and Barber has been a cut-above family operation based in Freehold Township. Here to discuss this buzzing business is owner and operator Lori DeFalco. Lori, thank you so much for being here and allowing me to pun you to death in the intro.
No problem. Thank you, Bob, for having me.
All right, so let's give us the history here of Style Salon and Barber. When did this start, this operation?
It started back in 1968.
Wow.
My father came to America. He immigrated from Italy back in late 1950s, and he became friends with a man, Leon Scherer. They worked together at a barbershop, and they decided that they wanted to open up their own business, and they thought Freehold was the perfect area. You know, up and coming. It had a lot of people moving in, and they found a really nice location where it had a very nice food store, big parking, and they thought it was a really good opportunity to open up a business. Good
on them and good on setting some roots. It's a hard thing to take an operation on, especially 50-something years ago. So how did you get involved with the business?
I just, you know, as in high school, I didn't know exactly what I wanted to do. I knew that my father had a very good business. I didn't know if college was my right direction or not. And I just decided I was going to give it a try and see if something that I wanted to do and pursue. So I went to vocational school, got my license, and I said if it worked out, great. If not, I can always go back to college and do something different. Wow.
So at what point do you take ownership of this business from your father?
I took ownership in 1993. So I started in 1983. And then in 1993, I bought the business from my dad.
And what led up to that? Was this something like he wanted to get out of it? You were kind of, you felt like you could take on this business on your own?
I think for certain health reasons, I thought it was best at the time. You know, I think he had enough of owning it, running it. It was a lot. And I felt I had been in the business for 10 years, and I thought it was a good opportunity for me.
Pretty big step?
It was a big step, but I thought it was a really good step.
Okay, and at some point, I guess not too long ago, you moved the business from its original location to where it is now, which is where it's on?
It's on Route 9.
Route 9, okay.
Yep, in Freehold, still in Freehold, which was a big undertaking.
Okay.
So yeah, it was a little scary, but.
Yeah, I was going to say, does the business transition both from your ownership of it and the location in terms of what kind of business it is? Does it become more of a barbershop to a salon? At what point does that change?
Originally, you know, it was a barbershop. You know, it just had men. We had, there was no women. My father hired the first female barber on August the 2nd of 1979.
Wow.
Yeah. Wow. She was the first female barber that he hired. And she's still employed with us today. Yes, she is.
That's great.
And so it was a barber shop. And over the years, we wanted to evolve. You know, we wanted to bring in more women. I was trying to get away from the stigma of the barbershop. You know, we had women clients, but other women, some women didn't want to come in because they thought, well, I can't get my hair cut in a barbershop. So I kind of wanted to change that. I knew we needed to evolve, to expand. So I made it a little bit more comfortable, a little bit more hair salon, but always kept the barbershop side.
So it's kind of both. I mean,
it is both.
It's a hybrid. I mean,
it is completely a hybrid. Okay. So some people say, what do you own? I never know what to say. It's both a barbershop and a hair salon. So I'm a barber and a hairdresser.
Well, it's great that you can strike that balance between genders and have everybody feel comfortable at once, you know?
That's exactly what I wanted. So when I had that opportunity to move the business, in 2014, that's exactly what I wanted to achieve. I wanted something that was again, a little bit more hybrid for both.
Right.
I want it comfortable for men. I never wanted to get rid of the family atmosphere, because that's really what we're all about.
Yeah,
is the
and
family.
keeping clients,
Right.
generation to generation, hopefully. How about in terms of what's important to you, so many years on now, you've been here doing this, in terms of customer satisfaction? What is the end goal here besides, is it just, I want them leaving here better than they came in? Is it that simple?
You know what? It is. We always want our clients, our motto has always been to give excellent service at an affordable price. And that's been our motto since day one, and it never changes.
Right.
And I think that's a really good goal for us. I think that's what kept us in business for so many years.
Yeah.
We love learning new things. That doesn't mean our business hasn't evolved and changed, because we're always learning new techniques, new color, new products, new everything,
Right.
but our motto stays the same.
So when we're talking about your staff, are these folks that are continuing to get training as they go on?
Yes, we do have continuing education, and it's important. It really is. I always offer any kind of education that they want. If they want in-house, if they want to go to classes or anything, and we're always evolving. We're always learning new things.
Right.
I can remember when my dad, in the very beginning, when he hired anybody, he made you stand right by his side, and you had to stand there and watch,
Right.
including myself. The very, first year that I worked, he made me
Right.
stand there and watch over and over. This is exactly how we do it. He really taught you well.
Right.
The importance of learning how to cut hair was important,
Right.
and he made sure that you were well trained.
That's great.
A
little old school, but probably the best way to do it.
It was the best.
Yeah.
It really, really was
That's
the best.
great.
Yeah.
How about in terms of your staff? You have what? How many people cutting hair right now?
I have 12.
Wow.
Right now I have 12 hairdressers,
Right.
3 receptionists. So there's 15 altogether.
Wow.
And they're a great bunch. I mean, I have such a fantastic staff. I really do.
I looked on the website and I said I would try to remember all of them. You ready? Here we go. Lori, Tori, Chrissy, Janet, Danielle, Donna, Lynn, Nancy, Roxanne, Robin, Michael, Antonio, and Antonio.
Yes. He did it. Excellent.
I may have issues. Now, how great is this staff? I mean,
They're phenomenal. I mean, they're very diverse, and they're phenomenal. I mean, I have everything from Antonio, who can give you the best straight edge shave that you ever could want,
Right.
to Michael, who can give the best ethnic haircut.
Right.
He's phenomenal. He really is.
Michael's the guy with the hat.
Michael's a hat man.
Right.
He always wears
And
a hat.
I always say if I ever went to your place, I'd want him because he wears a hat.
He's fantastic.
Yeah.
He really is.
Yeah.
He's a wonderful person. He's a wonderful barber. He's excellent. And everyone in my shop is very well trained. Everybody seems to have a little bit of...
Like a specialty area?
There's a specialty.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
Yes, everyone, each one has like a specialty that they're kind of good at. Everybody does everything, but sometimes there's a specialty that they're good at.
Right.
If you want color, you might send you to one. If you want, keratin treatment,
Right.
you might go to another. But like I said,
How about in terms of I always wondered, this fascinates me about the hairstyling business. It always seems that these people almost have to be therapists as well as stylists. Is there that
Yes.
connection?
There's a huge
do they have to
connection.
be able to talk to people?
I think you have to understand people. If people come to us, they come to us because they want to look good, they want to feel good.
Right.
But the truth is that they become part of your family. You get to know your clients.
Yeah.
And you grow with them. I mean, we know these clients from the time they're little. They go off to college, then they get jobs, then they get married, they come back, and they talk about their weddings and everything.
Right.
And you get to know them. It's not just like, they're in the chair for a little while and they're gone.
Yeah.
They become part of you, and,
Yeah.
and you feel that, and you make them happy.
And I almost feel like sometimes there's probably a connection that they might be able to share something that they're not sharing with their closest friend or somebody in the family, because they're not technically family, they can get away with it.
Yes.
So that probably happens. So.
You know what, I think it's nice. I think people sometimes like to they like to vent, they like to share. I think it makes them feel good.
Right.
To just come in and relax, get their hair done, and just be open and honest, and they're happy.
Do people come in and they have no idea what they want to do themselves, and they say, I'm a clean slate, I'm in your hands, make me look good.
Yeah, they do that all the time.
That takes bravery, which I will never know.
You know what? It's funny. We do have clients that do that, but then sometimes as soon as you start to show them a picture, it's, oh no, I can't do that.
Yeah.
You can't do that. So you really have to be careful when people say I'm a clean slate. You have to really ask about what they want.
Okay. Yeah. And I also saw on your website they have something that says crying babies served with a smile.
Served with a smile.
That's got to be a challenge.
That is not a challenge. We do it all the time, and that motto has also been there for a very, very long time.
Right. What about the crying adults? That would be my follow-up question. How about the business of running a salon? I think people, when they see the prices on the wall, they're like, oh, yeah, right, but that's okay, you know, or they might think, boy, I'm not surprised it's that much. What goes in to, it's not just, here's the service and you're done and that's how much it costs. There's so much more that goes into it, isn't
there
there?
Is a lot that goes into it. You know, everything is, you know, you have to add up all the overhead, the cost of everything, and you have to come out with a good price. You know, it's not just cost of overhead and a price. It also means like our time, you know, how experienced our staff is. And then you have to also compare it to what's other salons are doing. Know your demographic is what I always say. Know who your target is. And you know, I don't want to overcharge, but I also can't undercharge.
You're here to make, you know, you're here to survive.
We're here to survive. But it's a very delicate balance because you have to add in all the costs, and it's not just the cost of. People say, well, there's no cost because you're just cutting my hair. No, that's not it. There's a lot involved.
Well, the equipment, I know.
There's equipment, there's cost, there's overhead, there's insurance, liability, there's everything. Right. So
and even the product.
The product is very expensive.
And you're open on Sundays too?
We're open on Sundays. We're open 7 days a week now too. Yes, we started that when COVID hit. And we did that to separate all the barbers and the hairdressers so that we wouldn't all be next to one another.
Great idea. Great
so we
approach.
Thought if we could just disperse everybody, and that worked out really, really well. A lot of people, a lot of older clients in the very beginning when we reopened, they were very grateful that we were open on Sunday. We only had like 3 people working on Sunday. And they were grateful because then the shop wasn't at full capacity and they felt really safe. And that was a good thing. And you know, we're still open on Sunday.
So you're going to keep it for a while?
We're going to keep it, the girls want it, you know, and I said, if you don't want it anymore, we'll stop. But they said no, and I think it's fine.
That's the dedication of that staff, that they'll come in on, what, 8 or 9 on a Sunday or something like that?
9 to 2 on Sundays.
Wow. And I should ask about COVID before closing. How did you guys come out of it? How challenging was it for you to stay alive while you weren't able to serve people?
It was really challenging. I mean, when COVID first hit, I thought, oh, you know, maybe we'll be closed for a little while, you know, whatever. But when the realization of it hit, that we were going to be closed for that long, it was devastating to me because I thought, how are we going to survive? You know, we closed March 17th and we didn't reopen until June 22nd. That's 3 months.
3 months.
So it was a little bit scary, and not just for me, but for my employees, everybody. So it was a challenge. But I was very fortunate. I did receive a grant, and that helped me.
Good.
I was able to pay my rent.
Good.
And it really was a big help for me.
Good on EDA for providing that.
Yes.
So, you know, you've been at this for many years right now. At some point, do you see yourself kind of going out of the business and handing it over, selling to somebody else? And if so, what do you hope will be your crowning moment? What will you be most proudest of when you get there?
I don't see myself going out of it anytime soon.
Okay.
I really love my job. I mean, for me, it's not even a job. It's what I just love to do. And I don't see myself going anywhere for a long time. One day, I do hope to cut back and pass the baton on to somebody else. I hope maybe, you know, I hire somebody that will get a good build a good following and decide to buy the business from me. I think that would be wonderful. And I would love to see it continue and keep on a good path of what we are. And what we are is really a family-run business. One of the things that I'm most proud of is in a world where everything is a chain, a corporate America, we are still a mom and pop store, which is to me the backbone of America.
Absolutely.
And I'm proud.
Yeah.
And my staff is fantastic, and it really is an amazing place.
Right.
And I feel that the success of my shop isn't because I own it. It's because I have a staff of amazing people who care about the business. And if it wasn't for them, I think, I'm not sure where we'd be.
Yeah.
I really feel that it's an entire team.
Right.
You know, I don't ever consider myself, it's a success just because of me.
Right.
It's a success because we're a team and we work together.
That's great.
And I do have a fantastic team, and we're very much like a family.
Very good. And
And
I'm sure
enjoy
they
it.
see you as a great leader anyway,
Right.
despite your modesty there. So Style Salon and Barber in Freehold Township on Route 9. Go check it out. Lori DeFalco, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having me.
All right, and we'll be back right after this.
Okay, at AT&T, everyone gets our best deals on all smartphones.
Let me break it down. You got your new customers.
They get our best deals.
You got your existing customers. They
Also get our best deals. Everyone gets the deals.
questions.
Got it. But why did you use a permanent marker?
Because I want to make sure you remember. I'm going to get a new whiteboard.
It's not complicated. Only AT&T gives everyone our best deals on every smartphone, like the Samsung Galaxy S21 5G for free.
Welcome back to NJBIA's Minding Your Business. I'm Bob Considine. Well, NJBIA is hosting its 7th annual Women Business Leaders Forum on September 22nd through September 24th. And once again, it will be the largest women's business conference in the state of New Jersey. But beyond the great networking and speakers, the WBLF also features breakout sessions designed to help women improve their confidence and inform their professional path. We now hear from just a few of the more than 30 speakers and coaches who will join us at this year's Women's Business Leaders Forum to give you a taste of what's in store. Check them out.
I think one of the things, or so many things, that women will be able to walk away from this conference is this. It's a camaraderie. It's a network of like-minded people, and I will say that men attend this conference as well. But just knowing that there are other people who are facing not only the same triumphs but struggles as you are, as a women business leader, and just sharing of stories is just incredible. And I know that in the past years, I know for me, one of the greatest things was the impact that it has had on my network. It's just been hands down the most impactful conference that I have ever had the pleasure of being at.
So I'm super excited about this conference for a number of reasons. One, I think Michelle Sakurka has done a phenomenal job just creating a space for women to actually convene, to be able to communicate with one another, but also to share ideas and to learn from each other. And so I think that women are going to come away with a sense of empowerment. They're going to be re-energized, but also recognize the importance of taking a minute to take the time for events like this. So super excited that NJBIA is doing this for their 7th year. And I think the women are really going to enjoy this programming. So virtual and in person, it's going to be amazing.
Boy, I have a lot to ask of a 3-day event, some of which is in person, some of which will be virtual. But here's what I hope for all of us, myself included. I hope that women walk away from this event with a renewed sense of energy, maybe even a renewed sense of purpose or direction. I know that might be a little bit to ask, but what I would really like is that we walk away with a renewed sense of confidence. The last 18 to 24 months have shaken us, most of us, almost to the bone. What I love about being in a group of women like this is that I get out of it hopefully exactly what you get out of it. And that is, we are all surrounding one another. We're all sharing not just tips, strategies, and tactics for business, but for life and for ourselves as women business leaders and women business owners. I hope that during the course of this event, that we're all able to lift one another up and walk out of this event as new and better versions of ourselves.
Empowerment and a whole slew of resources and motivation and the inspiration to keep you going. That's the whole goal, to get you, to get you everything that you need, all the tools in your arsenal, to try to get you that additional energy, that additional battery pack to keep you moving.
So my favorite thing about last year's WBLF conference, and I will say all the years prior, is the ability to hear so many different voices. Yes, there are panel discussions and there are keynote speakers and there are general sessions and breakouts, but the ability to learn from so many different, not only people, but different industries and different levels of experience. I mean, the diversity of the attendance of this conference is what is so phenomenal. So that is really one of the key things that I am looking forward to, and what was great about the last conference. But the other thing, and this is most important, is that this whole ability to network and to talk about your business and to talk about your mission and your purpose and how the attendees, the other attendees, how we can help each other attain our goals. I think that is hands down one of the most important things that I have taken from and will take from again this coming conference.
My favorite thing about last year's WBLF conference was the fact that there was a WBLF conference last year. Everything that was going on was devastating in a lot of different areas, and I know myself, I had to kind of scale down and kind of go with the basics of what I do and what the purpose of what I do was and all of that stuff, and just kind of zone in on that to be able to function for the most part. So anything involving a whole lot of people and agendas and all of that stuff was just way outside of what I was even able to conceptualize. So the fact that that NJBIA was able to even move forward with the program last year was amazing to me.
So I think for me, there was two important components that were brought up this year. One, I think after COVID, we have to talk about mental health and we have to talk about work-life balance. That's something that I know women try to do, and I know I have failed personally. So for me, being able to hear more about the importance or how other people are able to really create separation between work and also their personal life is going to be important for me professionally, but also personally. And then also anything around social media branding. I love what you guys have done this year with so many influencers that are going to be at the table. So those two for me are probably what I'm looking forward to the most. Work-life balance and social media.
What I am personally looking forward to learning is a whole lot. As many of you know, I started my business just a little bit before the pandemic started. And when I tell you, I started with zero, maybe even less than zero business knowledge. I was 9 months in before I knew what a P&L was. I still don't know exactly what I should be doing with it. However, I hope to learn from phenomenal women around me about how they were able to scale their visibility, their credibility, grow their brand, and grow their careers in whatever way that they wanted. One size does not fit all. Not for all women, not for all business owners, not for all entrepreneurs, and certainly not for all employees. What I love about an event like this is that we're able to listen to a whole bunch of people, a whole group of smart, intelligent, sharp women, and pick the pieces that apply to our lives or apply to our business. So I hope that I walk away from this event having learned the best from all of you.
I try to keep my mind open when it comes to what I think I'll learn, because sometimes what I'll learn isn't on the agenda, and that may be the best thing that I come away with. So I just want to be as fluid as possible and have my eyes and my ears open to receive everything that's coming. And that can be a part of the agenda, but it may be just something else that another attendee adds in through chats, or it may be something that one of the presenters or speakers just positions that, you know, hits home for me. So I'm just going to be open and receive whatever comes my way. I think it would be great and advantageous for everyone to be able to take notes. I know I have a notebook next to me all the time, This notebook I always use for everything, and it's on a new sheet so I can take a new set of notes. But take notes and make sure that you give yourself actionable items to follow, so that maybe this time next year, when you're at next year's event, you'll be able to say, okay, well, last year I was able to do this. So as my anniversary, I'm going to have a whole new slew of things that I'm going to be able to do for 2022 going into 2023.
I have a lot to talk about, but I'll share a little secret that sort of, maybe it's a little bit of a teaser or gives you a little bit of a taste of what we're going to be talking about. Some of you know, many of you do not, that many, many moons ago, when I was but a young girl and an older one, I was terrified of public speaking. And not only was I terrified, I was terrible. And I don't mean your standard, like, oh, I don't want to get up and talk in front of people, but I can muddle through. I mean a full-fledged back of the room, panic attack, hyperventilating in a paper bag, might be in a puddle of my own vomit, sort of scared. I actually was a pre-veterinarian major, and I wanted to work with animals, so I didn't have to talk to people. What I was able to do is take that fear of public speaking and turn it into an Emmy. Broadcasting in front of millions of people on NBC in New York every single day. But it wasn't point A to point B immediately. There was a lot of challenge, a lot of risk, and a lot of obstacles I overcame to get from point A. And by the way, it wasn't really point B. It's probably like point, I don't know, G, H, or K perhaps at this stage. But how we walk through those challenges, how we overcome the things that are holding us back, and maybe a couple of tips, tricks, and strategies to do so. That's what I hope you walk away from my event with.
This year's panel is creative risk-taking. And I'm a super creative person, so this is right up my alley. It's all about having a different take, or taking a different take, or a different position on handling certain problems, or addressing new needs, or opening new doors. It's all about, you know, finding the possibilities where you may not know they're lying. So it's going to be a pretty cool panel.
So super excited about our panel on I Am Woman. I think, or it's a woman's world. Super excited about that. As you know, in the workplace, so often when men achieve or strive, they're given all these accolades. And for women, the climb is so much different. The glass ceilings are still there. So to have the free space and a comfortable space to talk about some of the challenges that you encounter as a woman in a leadership role, not just like the challenges, but also how you get past those challenges to success. I'm really looking forward to the panel, the folks that are on my panel, but just to engage in that type of dialogue.
So my panel that I'm moderating is called Taking Yourself to the Next Level. And what I'm most excited about is hearing how these women who are very powerful women, how they have managed during this time of COVID, how they have managed their careers and their families, and building their own brand by taking risks and advocating for themselves. And most importantly, we're all real people. So the thing that I think that we're going to be able to take away is the most important lesson from my particular panel discussion is that we are human. We all make mistakes, but man, we're going to learn from them, and we're just going to keep moving on, and we're going to fail forward, and just keep celebrating all of our great accomplishments. So it's going to be a wonderful panel.
And so I've heard that this is the event to be at. So if you're not yet registered, please do so. We'd love to see you there, because there's no way that you can walk out of this event and, as far as I know, not have a new knapsack full of new tools and new tricks to learn to grow both your personal and professional brand. I have heard that this is the place to be, and if you are not there, you are square.
All right, some great thoughts there. And to register for NJBIA's Women Business Leaders Forum, go to wblf-njbia.org. We hope to see you there. And we thank you for joining us on NJBIA's Minding Your Business. We'll see you next time.